Tonight's big stories. Flooding hit several areas across the country as Tropical Depression Dodong makes its way into Philippine landmass. Signal number 1 is raised over Luzon.
The government looks to transform some prison lands into agricultural camps to help boost food production in the country.
And the World Health Organization warns that aspartame, an artificial sweetener used in diet sodas and candy, could be cancerous.
Welcome to the show. I'm Regina Lay.
I'm Maricel Halili.
And I'm Sean Yao.
We begin tonight with updates on Tropical Depression Dodong. The cyclone continues to move northwest over Cagayan. It's expected to cross the northern portion of mainland Luzon and will likely intensify into a tropical storm by tomorrow. Pag-asa says Dodong will likely exit the Philippine area of responsibility this weekend. But until then, rainfall is expected in Cagayan, Kalinga, Benguet, Ilocos Norte, and Pangasinan. Metro Manila, Calabarzon, Mimaropa, and the Bicol region could also experience strong winds and monsoon rains. Signal number 1 has been raised across parts of Luzon. Now, Tropical Depression Dodong and the southwest monsoon continue to bring heavy rain across several areas in the country, as we were just saying. Here in the National Capital Region, overnight rain gave commuters a hard time catching rides. The pictures you're looking at were taken in areas in Quezon City, Manila, and Mandaluyong. In Masinloc, Zambales, several barangays also experienced knee-deep flooding. As you can see, some houses were partially submerged, while light vehicles also had trouble passing through flooded villages.
In Morong, Bataan, a decommissioned Philippine Navy ship ran aground due to rough seas. The tow lines of BRP Lake Caliraya snapped, forcing the vessel to dock. The ship was supposed to be part of the U.S.-Philippine maritime trails that had been canceled this week. In Bordeos, Quezon, floodwaters have started to subside after heavy rainfall on Thursday. Local disaster risk management officials said high tide also contributed to the flooding.
And in El Nido, Palawan, the Philippine Coast Guard had to step in to evacuate several residents from Barangay Corong-Corong. It was a good thing that they evacuated when they did, as floodwaters suddenly rose, inundating the area.
And of course, with heavy rains come the heavy traffic. Flooding at the ground level portion of the Skyway in Parañaque City has subsided, but not before leaving many motorists furious over the ensuing gridlock. The operator, San Miguel Corporation, has apologized for the issue, saying the flood was caused by the drainage system problem outside of the Skyway system. The company said it's working with DPWH and other stakeholders to address the issue, including lending equipment to drain the flood water faster. Meanwhile, the MMDA says it's also trying to increase the frequency of its drain pumping activities.
Considering that the elevation of Metro Manila is really below sea level, that's why we have all these 72 pumping stations. On the part of MMDA, what we're trying to do is to improve our pumping stations so that it could cater more volume and it could discharge more water in a short period of time.
But how soon can they clear up the drainage system over there? Let's bring in Jenny Dongon for that report. Jenny, what do you have?
Reg, the cleaning of the clogged drainage system in SLEX is estimated to take another week. This estimation is based on the assessment of SLEX management and the DPWH. In an interview with Ted Filon and DJ Chacha, MMDA Chair Romando Artes reiterated that the cause of flooding in the area is due to construction project of a mall in Bicutan. To prevent motorists from experiencing prolonged traffic for 8 to 9 hours, the MMDA collaborated with the DPWH. 4 portable pumps have been placed in the area to immediately drain the accumulated water caused by heavy rain.
Thanks so much for that update, Jenny Dongon. Let's get more updates on that Bicutan drainage problem with us. We have with us on the phone DPWH Secretary Manny Bonoan. Welcome to the big story. Thanks again for joining us tonight, Secretary Bonoan.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Let me get right to the problem, no? MMDA's Bong Nebri has also told us that they're working with the DPWH on this matter. I'm talking about the flooding issue over at the Skyway. I wonder if you could give us an update on the situation there.
Yes, our people from the National Capital Region, I instructed them to go and see if we can help in any way, actually, because that area has never been flooded before, no? And soon enough, I think we know already what caused the inundation in that area. It was because of the realignment of the drainage pipes that has been installed in that area by, as you said, the developer in the area. But right now, I think they have made some corrections in the area, and they have compelled actually the developer actually to make sure that they have to interconnect it now already with the drainage system that has been built in the area. The other problem is actually because the main outfall that cross SLEX is actually full of debris, and this is I think this is going to be the task of the local government actually to clean it out actually, and Metro Manila Development Authority.
Right. Sec Manny, do we have any idea by when these interconnecting of the drainages will be finished? And just to give us an idea, what is the process that goes behind that? Do they have to coordinate with the DPWH, with the LGU, or in order to, when they move?
They have to coordinate with the LGU. I think they have to coordinate with the LGU on this matter, because I think the drainage is actually, they just have to connect it with the main pipes that has been built actually in that area.
Yes. Yes. How long, Secretary, will it take?
I understand. It's just a matter of a few days actually that they will be able to clean it out. I think when they started to clean it out during the inundation period, I understand that the water subsided quite quickly naman nung naalis yung debris. But I think the other problem is how to integrate the drainage problem of the developer into the main drainage that will have to cross South Luzon Expressway.
Okay.
Or, yes, SLEX.
Yes, Secretary, aside from Bikutan, are there other areas here in Metro Manila that the DPWH is looking into to at least prevent any further heavy flooding?
Yes, but I have to make clear that the primary responsibility for the flooding problems in Metro Manila is with MMDA, because it's under their charter. We are just helping them financially and technically to put up additional facilities if they need them. Right now, the Department of Public Works and Highways is actually trying to upgrade all the pumping stations in Metro Manila. I think there are 20 pumping stations that have been upgraded, and we are going to construct another 10 new pumping stations that will flow out of Pasig River and parts of Malabon, I think. So all these things we are doing it for the Metro Manila Development Authority for them to operate later on. We are also installing booster pumps in the main canals. The tributaries, so that we can enhance the flow of floodwaters to the pumping stations actually. So all these things are actually being done in collaboration with the Metropolitan Development Authority.
Well, we hope that all the agencies can keep working together even when the weather clears up, so we can prevent future flooding incidents. Thanks so much for your time tonight, DPWH Secretary Manny Bunawan. We're going to pause for a quick one right now, but up next, Justice Secretary Boying Remulla says he's not worried about the International Criminal Court's impending decision on the drug war. The details when we return. Keep it here.
You're watching the big story here on One News. Justice Secretary Boying Remulla has downplayed the International Criminal Court's impending decision on former President Duterte's war on drugs. Remulla says he's not concerned as the Philippines is no longer a member of the ICC.
They can decide in The Hague where the ICC is, but that does not affect us here. They cannot enforce anything that they want in our country because we are not members of the ICC. I don't see them coming into the country to do anything that they want to do.
The decision will be handed down Tuesday, July 18. This is a decision on the appeal that the government filed earlier this year, asking the ICC to stop investigating the killings related to the drug campaign. Now, what happens if we lose the appeal? Solicitor General Menardo Guevara says it means the ICC will continue investigating the war on drugs and may even indict certain individuals over it. Meanwhile, Guevara says the government will also continue with its own investigation and prosecution on the matter in accordance with the country's legal system.
Meanwhile, the government is hoping to convert idle prison lands into agricultural camps. They're exploring an initiative called RISE, which seeks to establish farming activities in detention facilities starting off at the Iwahig Prison and Penal Farm in Palawan. President Marcos said the project is meant to help address both food security and prison reform.
By investing in these capacity building activities, we are not only helping boost food production, but also giving our PDLs opportunities to realize their potential for positive change and for reformation.
Well, I think this is not new. I believe they do have a partnership. I'm talking about the BJMP with like a private company down in Davao, where they do grow bananas. And actually, the prisoners, they like it because they earn money.
Nagiging plantito.
Naging plantita. Oh, banana plantitos and plantitas. Tapos may sweldo sila. At wala silang mapaggastusan doon, syempre, di ba? So, paglabas nila, may savings na.
But actually, this is a good effort.
It is.
For rehab of prisoners. Kasi pagka pumasok ka rin naman dun sa mga prisons, makikita mo rin naman yung mga efforts like meron silang ginagawa mga bakery,
Arts and crafts, di ba?
arts,
Oo,
yes,
yung
right.
mga parang may ano pa yung paper mache, di ba? Yung sa mga ibang
Rehab activities,
Yes.
I think is what they call it.
Plus, it's a bit of livelihood too, so why not?
Yeah.
Right? So aside from enforcing positive change in state prisons, what else is President Marcos hoping to achieve with this initiative? Let's bring in Julie Baiza to answer that. Go ahead, Julie.
Sean, President Marcos wants to tackle one other thing with this initiative, and that is to improve the nutritional value that inmates get from their daily meals in prison. The goal is to have more nutritious items on their plates, vegetables and fruits that are harvested from within the penal farm. The President also hopes that this project will help foster better partnership between agencies with regard to prison reform. Sean?
Thanks for that, Julie Baiza.
Well, here's a question for everyone and for me, to you ladies. Do you believe it when beverages or candy packets say 0 sugar?
Yeah, because they put some like fake or artificial sugar.
Sweetener.
Well, you answered it already.
Yeah, but you know, it doesn't actually taste like sugar. I personally am a little bit afraid of these artificial sweeteners. Like my dad really likes Coke Zero. I can't stand it because it tastes a little weird to me.
Really? I prefer Coke Zero.
Yeah, so does my dad.
Because it's guilt-free.
It's
It eases the
guilt-free.
guilt of drinking Coke, I guess.
And
No, I
maybe also
actually
if you have
Googled it.
diabetes,
Yeah.
then it's good for you. That's the only way you can drink Coke.
Yeah, but I Googled it. What does it mean by 0 sugar? It means that the sugar content is like less than 0.5
So
grams
very
of sugar.
negligible.
Yes, but of course there's artificial
There's still
sweetener.
something.
But anyways, why are we talking about this? Because recently the World Health Organization classified the soda sweetener aspartame as a possible carcinogen. Aspartame is used in Diet Coke, as we just mentioned, Pepsi Zero, sugar and other diet sodas, as well as some chewing gum and various drinks, of course, as a substitute for sugar. Some of the brands that use it are Equal and NutraSweet, but there is a big caveat. The The WHO also clarified that aspartame is safe to consume within a daily limit of 40 milligrams per kilogram of a person's body weight. That's equivalent to between 9 and 14 cans of a regular size soft drink, so a lot. Still, doctors urge the public to exercise moderation.
Right now, they're linking aspartame to 13 different types of cancers. But ayun, wala pa talagang direct relationship. If aspartame really is the primary cause, still better to be more prudent, no, and careful with whatever we take inside our body.
Oh, yun naman pala eh.
Sobrang dami naman, 9 to 14.
Pwede pala we can drink 9 to 14 a day? No.
Yun
Of
yung
course, we're
cancerous
not
level.
endorsing that, by the way.
Yeah.
We're just saying that's what the WHO is saying. 9 to 14 yung 40 milligrams per kilogram of person's body weight.
Ang hirap ng math, di ba? Thanks for doing it for us, producers. But actually, I think it just says talaga, in general, di ba? Practice moderation. Everything in moderation. All right, we're going on a quick break, but right after that, Padcore denies having plagiarized its new logo from a contentious website. The details when we return. Keep it here on One News.
Sa lahat ng bagay, simula pa lang, siguraduhing max protection.
Welcome back. You're still watching the big story here on One News.
A reminder to netizens, take it easy with that share button. Criticism over Padcore's new logo continues to gain traction online, but it looks like one netizen writing the hate train took it one step too far. Aside from memes, there was also this post that went viral claiming that the Padcore logo was plagiarized from a website called Tripper. This post quickly spread online. In a statement, Padcore said the allegation is entirely false and driven by malicious intent. The agency adds that they are now investigating the source of what they described as a baseless campaign and urged the public to exercise caution. Padcore adds that the Tripper website appears to lack credibility and that it bears resemblance to a phishing site.
Alright, tingnan natin, no? Because supposedly when you go to this Tripper website, you'll just see this 404 not found error message. So it appears it has already been taken down. I think we do have an image of that. There's also a prompt saying the site is not secure, but then again, a lot of sites are actually not secure, according to my laptop.
But also 404 not found is almost a surefire way indicating that the website is
Gone.
Has been taken down or is questionable.
It's questionable. Okay. And some netizens, of course, super, armchair investigators, they have pointed out that the website was newly created. They also found out that the creator, who is just quote-unquote trolling daw and not trying to collect data, and just created this website for fun. So this site was created using a content management system that can also be just bought online.
There was even somebody who started a Facebook page titled Print Plus Graphic Services, which is the name of the agency that Padcore used. It's a trolling page, pero it makes it appear like it's legitimate.
So parang
maraming
pinalitan niya yung,
pinalitan
pangalan ng page.
Exactly. And then that person was commenting on posts slamming Padcore as well.
Okay. So someone's out to get there.
Trolling page talaga siya. And it's, if you're a casual looker, you might get fooled into thinking that that's the actual Print Plus page, right? In other news, Hollywood is shutting down. I am not joking. After failed negotiations with studios, thousands of Hollywood actors have joined film and television writers in a historic strike against major studios like Netflix, Amazon, and Disney. The union known as SAG-AFTRA, or the Screen Actors Guild, and the American Federation of Television and Radio Artists joined the Writers Guild of America in demanding increases in base pay and better working conditions. They're also looking for assurances that they will not be replaced by artificial intelligence. Actors have used contract talks with Hollywood studios to try to assert control over how these digital simulations are being used on screen. Studios are now faced with their first dual work stoppage in 63 years, forcing them to halt many productions across the United States and abroad. SAG-AFTRA President Fran Drescher railed against studio executives in her speech.
I am shocked by the way the people that we have been in business with are treating us. I cannot believe it, quite frankly. How far apart we are on so many things.
It's such a critical moment in the life of the industry, not just for actors, but for everybody else in all the waves of the industry that this will affect. So it's a crucial moment. I know people are doing their best. I hope it's resolved as soon as possible.
I mean, yes, it's historic, first time in 63 years, pero nagbabago na talaga yung landscape ng TV production, and media, and the way people view content. So you gotta expect some adjustments, I suppose. Of course, it's new territory.
Yes, but you cannot blame them for doing that. Kasi pag inisip mo, of course, they are worried about their jobs.
For sure.
I'm worried about this. If this drags on, what am I gonna watch? No, seriously. Seriously. Netflix time is my me time.
Yes, I agree with you.
I'm taking care of the baby. That's my de-stressor. So what am I gonna watch if it drags on for many months, right?
Exactly. You have to watch on the archives, old content, and other seasons that you haven't watched.
To watch
just watch again.
Old content, exactly.
Right now, before we go, time for our big picture for tonight. Do you girls remember this rain dance? I think we aired it earlier this week. This was taken on July 10 with members of our Dumaga tribe performing the rain dance at the viewing deck of the Angat Dam. Now, MWSS Administrator Leonor Cleofas was quoted as saying that they believe the ancestors heard them, and this resulted in all this rainfall that we have been experiencing lately.
Di ba parang-
Coincidence?
Yan yung nasa movie ni Sarah. Geronimo. Sun dance yun, hindi pala rain dance.
Baliktad naman.
Baliktad
I've never heard of it. So sun dance is for sun.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
oo.
Kasi sometimes sobra naman yung ulan, nasisira
Ay,
na rin
yeah,
yung
that's-
crops,
oo.
right? Kung kulang ng
So
ulan.
it worked. The rain dance worked, is what you're saying.
They're saying it could be a coincidence, could be timing, it could be the ancestors heard us. I guess we'll never really know. But that's all the time we have for speculation on the show tonight.
We are One News, all sides, all the time.
Thanks for tuning in and have a good night.